Okay, so I was looking at what I need to order a drive shaft for this thing, because it's flange to flange, and of course we shorten the frame, so this long one's not going to work anymore. Now I measured about 53 inches, but I know that when you measure this, you want it at your ride height as it sits. So it's on the suspension right now. The only thing is I'm taking these shocks off in these taller blocks, and I'm actually putting the factory blocks back on it, and then taking the spacer out and replacing all the shocks and everything. You can see, I talked about it in another video. You can see how these are overextended, and these are the factory shocks. The front and the rear, you can see there's a little bit of a gap where they've been overextended, and that's what happens when you put these huge blocks on and you don't put the shocks that are tall enough to accommodate. So it, you know, I don't know how long it got ran like this, but it's just one of the many things I found wrong with this truck. But so I need to replace the suspension on it, then measure for the drive shaft, and that way I can get that coming. I don't know how long it's going to take to get made. I'm going to try to find somebody local. If not, I'll have to source it out. But I know that it's going to need one of these in between so that it has some flex, because it's just, this is, you know, flange to flange. You can't put a hard one, so you got to put some kind of a slip yoke union in between the two. But yeah, let me get that suspension knocked out, put those new shocks and new blocks and stuff on. Okay, so got the trans cooler installed all the way. I made these little brackets, just a piece of angle iron that I had laying around, drilled through the receiver hitch, and then this already had a hole in it, and I just put it in there, and then I've got the hoses hooked up. But it's sturdy, it's not going anywhere. And then I just got them routed up to the front where they come out on the top of the frame. They come out together right here, and they go to the radiator on the front at the bottom. And then I started putting some shocks on, started doing the rear suspension, which I'll just wait and do that on another video. But yeah, I think this will work. I mean, I thought about, you know, here's the tire and the frame, and you know, it hangs down a little bit. I thought about maybe getting some kind of grating to put across it, you know, maybe utilize this and go straight across and just cover the whole thing up for rocks. But the bed has inner fender skirts, so I don't know how far they'll come down. I'll just have to look and see, but I think it'll work. I mean, if it overheats, if it gets too hot, I have this fan. I can't remember what the CFM for this was, but, and I can't remember, I think it's a puller or a pusher. I don't think it really matters, but it will fit, you know, right in the center. So if it does get too hot, I can mount that and wire it up to one of the switches in the truck. But that's it, just a quick update on the trans cooler. Suspension is coming along, but the U-bolts were too tall for these smaller blocks. So I had to, went to Ford, and they just told me they'd get them made by a guy downtown, and that's where I went. And a pair of them from Ford, I think, are $50. So yeah, it's worth getting them made from that guy, but they won't be ready for a week. So I'll get the suspension video up after I pick that up and put all that stuff in. But yeah, let me know if you got any questions. I'm hoping to get the front done and then start on motor.